to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. Notices of this meeting were sent to the Courier News and the Star Ledger on January 6, 2015. In addition, copies of notices were posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, on the Raritan Borough website, and filed in the office of the Borough Clerk. Notices on the bulletin board have remained continuously posted. Proper notice having been given, the Borough Clerk is directed to include this statement in the minutes of this meeting. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Kara.
Here.
Councilman Fooey.
Here.
Councilwoman Gara.
Here.
Councilman Giraldi.
Here.
Council President LaBelle.
Here.
Councilman Sebelia.
Here.
Please stand for the invocation and flag salute led by the Council President.
Lord, please let us govern and direct our town of Raritan with justice, integrity, and respect for equality. Let us place our talents and resources at the services of those who elected us. With guidance of our Almighty Father, let us strive to accept the challenge set before us and work together in harmony and understanding for the common good of everyone. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the first item of business is Resolution 2015-10-111. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act NJSA 10:4-7, commonly known as the Sunshine Law, requires that Borough Council meetings be open to the public except for the discussion of certain subjects. And whereas the Sunshine Law requires that a closed session be authorized by resolution. Now therefore be it resolved by the Borough Council of the Borough of Raritan, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, that the following portion of this meeting shall be closed to the public, and the meeting shall be resumed at the end of the closed session. Be it further resolved that the subjects to be discussed and the time of public release of the minutes of the closed session are indicated below. Subject matter is personnel. The time, when, and the circumstances under which the subject matter can be disclosed is upon the authorization of the borough attorney. Do I have someone that would like to move this resolution?
Motion.
Second. Motion made by Councilman Sebelia, second by the Council President. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Kara.
Yes.
Councilman Fooey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara.
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Aye.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
All right. Clear the room, please.
Yeah, he's an old blue black singer.
Two items that we discussed in the executive session were both personnel. One concerned a public works individual who needs to make a number of court appearances. The other one also involves an injured, someone who was injured from public works who is going to be out, and we have replaced him with temporarily with a summer help person. All right, we have a proclamation this evening. This is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And Joe, if find the proclamation. Let's find it. Thank you. Here it is. I got it. Breast Cancer Awareness Month, October 2015. Whereas October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, an annual campaign to increase awareness of this disease dedicated to increasing public knowledge about the importance of early detection of breast cancer diagnosis and treatment. And whereas while we have seen an increase in mammography rates and decline in deaths, there is more we can do. And whereas too many women do not utilize mammography as regular intervals, even though research indicates it is the best available method of detection to decrease death rates, and the awareness campaign is sending out several key messages. Most notably, the American Cancer Society, and they just changed this, so this is not correct, continues to advise women to get the annual mammogram screening once they reach the age of 40. They've raised it to 45. And the National Cancer Institute estimates in the United States more than 231,000 females and 2,000 males of new cases of breast cancer will be diagnosed this year, and over 40,000 people will die. And in Somerset County, female breast cancer increased slightly and accounts for 16.3% of all cancer cases and 8.7% of all cancer deaths, which are slightly higher than the average in New Jersey. And there are many organizations that continue to search for a cure through vital research They also work with the Office of Cancer Control and Prevention in New Jersey and support the Morris-Somerset County Regional Chronic Disease Coalition and its partners to educate our community about the importance of early detection, which is our best protection against the risk of breast cancer. So whereas this October marks the 12th anniversary of declaring the importance of Breast Cancer Awareness Month in Somerset County, so therefore as the mayor, I, along with my colleagues on the Borough Council, hereby declare October 2015 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month and urge all women and their families to increase their knowledge about breast cancer and join us to celebrate successes and memorialize lost battles. And there's one lady sitting out there that I don't have to tell you, another important component is self-examination. So, okay, we've come to the first portion of public comment. In accordance with the section 29-1 of the Code of Borough of Raritan, there shall be a 5-minute time limit per speaker. Please direct all questions or comments to the mayor. Impertinent, specious, or personal remarks are inappropriate, and anyone who cannot follow common rules of courtesy or who becomes boisterous may be asked to leave the meeting room. If you are reading from a prepared statement, please provide a written copy and email a copy to the Borough Clerk's office after making your comments. Is there anyone who wishes to be heard? Mr. Todd.
Good evening, Don Tozzi from Glazier Avenue. I just have a quick question. And I was a council person, council president, whatever you want to call it. The first thing I was given when I became a council person from the mayor was to do a calendar. So with the gracious respect of Stephanie, she helped me out on how to do a calendar. My biggest gracious area was collecting money from people, which I have that being very good at. We had no problem collecting the money. As a matter of fact, our first calendar went out, we walked around and handled and delivered it. Our second calendar, we raised so much extra money, we had the mailman deliver it all by himself. It was delivered to every business I even believe we think it had. Third calendar I pulled away from because I have to put up a 501c. Stephanie had problems with the computer, which killed the calendar. In our budget, there's like over $5,000 of extra money I raised that we were gonna use that when the computer burned out. Now we pass it on to Mr. Foodie, and I've heard nothing about the calendar, and the businessman walked up to me yesterday and says, "Hey Don, what's going on with the calendar?" He goes, "I know you guys lost the upgrades and stuff, but you know, I thought we paid for that and stuff." So I haven't heard a word about the calendar. I thought it was going out in September.
The software that we're using for the calendar is on the computer downstairs, and that computer we can't use because it's been out of order, right, Ken?
It has been out of order right now.
So once we get a new monitor, is that the situation, or?
I think we've ordered a new monitor, yes. Once it's exchanged for leases.
It's the one that used to have your smiling face on it.
Is it that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was coming in occasionally in the mornings to work on it, and problems, so I haven't been able to work on it.
So when did this computer go down?
So if we can't do that,
2 weeks ago. This was supposed to have been done in September.
I mean, nobody knows about this. That's what I'm saying. You have to remember, we have something no town has. We have Ron Rispoli, who takes pictures better than like a photographer. He gave us the authorization to sign the pictures over for the library books. He could do anything we want. We did the river, you could do a library. If you can't do the calendar, which you have plenty of time for, let's call a company in and get it done. We need a calendar by...
Well, right now, in my opinion, it's too late. It's already almost November, and I'm sure it's got factual information like names and phone numbers.
I'm just saying. I mean,
You gotta wait till January now, because those names and phone numbers are gonna change in 2 months.
All right.
So why do it now? That's ridiculous. So you might as well just wait till January.
Well, I
It
know
wasn't
there
done.
was a little comment made about somebody asked me. I said I would bring it up at the meeting just to find out where we stand. That's
Now,
all.
Dan, is the monitor irreparable? Is the county going to
Not to my knowledge.
take care of it?
If you need a
Yeah,
laptop to
that's my
do the computer on, I'll loan you a laptop. I don't care. We need a calendar.
It's too late.
Well, Don, first of all, it's not a simple thing to do the calendar.
Yes,
When I got
yes.
into
Me
it,
and Stephanie did the calendar in a month.
it has to be done 1 month, 1 day at a time.
How long did it take us to do the calendar, Steph? 3 months?
It took about 3 months.
3 months, 2 months of print, done. So don't tell me, you got all the time in the world.
The hardest part was
Really?
proofing it.
It's too late.
Mr. Todd, let me ask you a question. Why did you ask me to do it? Why didn't you ask one of your buddies up here to do it? Why did you
Because the
single me out?
mayor asked you to do it.
Yeah, the
No,
mayor.
you asked me to do it. You
No,
suggested it.
no.
The mayor asked.
I
No, the
did ask
mayor
him.
asked you.
After
you
Mr.
agreed.
Tazi
I said it
suggested
was a
it.
good idea.
It's
And
a
you-
great
you
suggestion,
suggested
Jim.
You agreed to
You're
it.
the
Yeah.
first new
Campaign
person
stuff.
on the board. The first new person should, you're newly elected, you gotta do something to start off with. I got thrown the, I was doing stuff. I mean, what's wrong? You have all the time in the world. What's the calendar? It's one of the biggest things in town love. Stephanie was getting emails sent how much people loved it.
It's too late.
We lost the calendar back before me, we got it back for 2 years, and now it's dead again. So that just shows how much we've done in the 9 months that you've been here. That's the way I feel. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to be heard?
Can we have an agreement on this, Mayor? Is it too late in the year to do
Oh,
it?
yes, I
So we're
believe
gonna
it
wait
is.
till after January now?
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense
Okay.
to do it on any other computer except that one because it's all in the hard drive.
Well, whether that was up and running for the last 6 months, now, I don't know, I don't care, but now it's so late, we might as well wait till January, because you're gonna have new names and
Absolutely.
numbers anyway.
And it still should be 18 months, right?
Yes, it should. All right, seeing no one else, I will close the first portion of public comment. We have 4 sets of minutes that we need to approve. The first one is from the September 22nd executive session. Is there someone that would like to move those minutes?
So moved.
A second.
Motion made by the council president, second by Mrs. Scarrow, roll call please.
Councilwoman
wait,
Ca-
excuse me, any additions or corrections? Okay.
Councilwoman Cara,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Aye.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
All right, the next set are the September 22nd regular meeting minutes.
Make a motion?
Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Cara, second by the council president. Any additions or corrections? Again?
Councilwoman Cara,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara.
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Aye.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
The next set are the October 13th executive session minutes.
Make that motion.
Motion made by the council president,
Second.
second by Mrs. Cara. Any additions or corrections? Roll call.
Councilwoman Cara,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara,
Abstain.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Aye.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
And the last set are the October 13th agenda and workshop minutes.
Make that motion.
Motion made by Mr. Lobel,
I'll
council
second.
president, second by Mrs. Cara. Any additions or corrections? Roll call.
Councilwoman Cara,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara,
Abstain.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Aye.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
All right, our next item of business is the second reading of ordinance 2015-12. I need to have a motion to remove this from the table.
So moved.
Motion made by Mrs. Gara,
Second.
second by Mr. Fooey. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cara,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi,
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Why are we removing it? So you vote on it.
Because it had to be reviewed by the planning
Planning
board, and it has been reviewed by the planning board.
And they,
We approved it in your packet, go past the ordinance and you'll see the
All right.
resolution from the planning board.
aye.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
Okay, now I need a motion to open the public hearing for ordinance 2015-12.
So moved.
Motion made by Mrs. Cara.
Second.
Mrs. Gara.
Gara.
Second by Mr. Sebelia. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cara,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara.
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Aye.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
Is there anyone wishing to be heard on this ordinance only? All right, seeing no one, I'll have a motion to close the public hearing, please.
So moved.
Motion made by Mrs. Gara,
Second.
second by Mr. Sebelia. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cara,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara.
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Aye.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
All right, do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2015-12?
So moved.
Motion made by Mrs. Guerra, second by the council president. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Karen,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Council President Lavelle,
Aye.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
We have three resolutions this evening. The first one is Resolution 2015-10-114, renewal of the 2015-2016 liquor license for the Old York Inn. Is there someone that would like to move that resolution?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Mr.
I'll
Sebelia.
second it.
Second by Mr. Giraldi. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Karen,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Council President Lavelle.
Aye.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
The next resolution is 2015-10-115, the renewal of the 2010-11, 2011-12, 2012-13, 2013-14, 2014-15, and 2015-16 plenary retail consumption licenses for Old Triangle Ventures Limited Liability Corporation.
Make that motion.
Motion made by Mrs. Guerra,
Second.
second by Mr. Sebelia. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Karen,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara.
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Council President Lavelle.
Aye.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
And the next resolution is 2015-10-116, Railroad Monthly Parking Refund. There are two of them, one in the amount of $80 and one in the amount of $40.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Giraldi, second by Mr. Sebelia. Roll call.
Councilwoman Karen,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi,
Yes.
Council President Lavelle,
Aye.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
All right, and the next item on our agenda is the approval of the bills list in the amount of $4,378,959.30, having been listed on the bill list for a period of September 21st, 2015 through October 23rd, 2015, and recorded in the files of the Borough Hall.
Make a motion.
Motion made by Mrs. Kara,
Second.
second by the Council President. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Kara,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi,
Yes.
Council President Lavelle,
Aye.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
And we have two purchase orders. The first one is from the Recreation Department for Fast Signs on Sherman Avenue here in Raritan in the amount of $1,685.16. And the certification of funds is attached.
Make that motion.
Motion made by the Council President,
Second.
second by Mrs. Guerra. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Karen,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi,
Yes.
Council President Lavelle,
Aye.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
And the next purchase order is for the administration for the 2016 computer software for finance and tax collection from Edmund and Associates in the amount of $6,713.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Garrett, second by the Council President, and the certification of funds is attached.
Councilwoman Karen,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi,
Yes.
Council President Lavelle,
Aye.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
All right, now we've come to committee reports. Council President, we'll start with you.
It should be fairly quick. Recreation, Saturday, October 30th, 5:30, we're having the Halloween Day Parade and event. So,
31st.
31st, excuse me. 5:30 here at Borough Hall. And future planning, December 6th at 2 p.m., Santa will be coming to Raritan. And Public Works, for the month of October, there was 41.37 bulk tons picked up. And garbage, there was 241.35 tons. So, well, that's year to date. So, and the other thing with economic development is planning to have a luncheon at Nick's Restaurant, December 9th and they would like to invite whoever the future mayor is going to be, along with Mayor Liptak. And it's gonna be something trying to get more interest in the Economic Development Committee and let more businesses know that it's out there. And we figure with the new mayor coming in, it will be enticing for some of these business owners to come down and meet.
It's the ninth.
We think it's ninth, yes.
Oh,
Mhm.
let the record reflect that, Linda.
So that's
Borough
something
engineer
that,
has joined us.
that's something that the Economic Development Committee is working on, and hopefully it'll be a success. So,
What time?
it'll be at lunchtime. Well, actually, I'm not sure of the time, but I'll let you know. That's all I have.
Please, thank you. The following fees were collected for the month of September 2015 from the Office of Vital Statistics. 8 marriage license at $24, 14 marriage certified copies for a total of $189, 179 death certified copies for a total of $653, for total fees for the month of September was $866. Under food and beverage report, they collected $1,909, and that's for food licenses and vending. Let's see here. Under emergency personnel, rehab at River's Edge, Raritan Borough held its first annual Emergency Personnel Appreciation Day barbecue on Monday, October 19th. Tony's Traveling Trottadora served a personalized menu including the town's favorite barbecue ribs, barbecue chicken, rice balls with marinara and garlic fries. A local DJ provided the entertainment. Tony shared his perspective serving as a police officer. After 27 years with the police department, he appreciated all their services, especially the people, even more. When I was asked to participate by providing a lunch sponsored by Rehab at River's Edge, I jumped at the opportunity. Thank you to all those in public service. Thank you to Rehab at River's Edge for stepping up to the plate and recognizing all these fine people. The Demonstrate Rehab Art River's Edge Appreciation for the borough's personnel, the owner of River's Edge, Judy Kushner, announced the winner of the raffle for the 2 tickets to a New Jersey Devils game, and that was Anna Maruziak of the Raritan Police Department. The staff at Rehab at River's Edge realized that unless or until public safety emergency personnel are needed, it is typically underappreciated, Kushner said. When needed, they all demonstrate professionalism, promptness, and impeccable training that saves lives. That is why we decided to make a special point to publicly commend our first-line emergency responders for all that they do 24/7. The other thing, congratulations to Don Tozzi, who will be honored on Thursday evening by Robert Wood Johnson Steeplechase Cancer Center. He was chosen by the Board of Trustees to have his name on the charity donor wall in appreciation for his work with the Raritan Rubber Duck Race and all his work with the Basilone Marine Foundation. And the other thing is I'd like to congratulate Scott Bragg, who was chosen by the New York Jets for Coach of the Week. Bridgewater Raritan High School, are they 7-0 or 8-0 now? 7-0, right? Okay, 7-0. We haven't seen that in a while. So congratulations, Scott Bragg. That's it. Under police, they responded to 863 general calls, 51 motor vehicle accidents. There were 26 fire calls, 64 first aid calls. I have nothing under seniors this month, and that is it for my report this month, Mayor.
Historical and cultural, the only thing that really jumped out is that they have booked Thomas Jefferson, not the real Thomas Jefferson, but a lookalike. So the American Historical Theater for November 5th at the library. I don't have the time on that, I'm not sure what the time is, but it's November 5th. And the Basilone meeting is tomorrow, so that's all I have.
Mayor, the Environmental Commission met last week, and we went over 2 planning board applicants who will be heard tomorrow night. For those who are not aware, the planning board gives us copies of plans for an applicant as they do, and they seek comments from the Environmental Commission as well as the police department and the fire department. And the 2 applicants were the project on Orlando Drive, where they plan to put 44 apartment units. It's going to be 2 22-unit buildings. We talked about that, and also on Route 28, the office building that's next to the PNC Bank, they're looking to expand, put another building back there. The only concern that the Environmental Commission had was, we looked at an aerial photograph, there's a lot of trees back there, and they'll have to take out a lot of trees to put that building in there. But as our engineer probably confirmed, we usually ask that if they remove trees and putting a building, we ask they also put in trees when they build. So that's what we were recommending to the planning board. And again, both of those applicants meet tomorrow night in this room. The planning board has changed their time from 7:30 to 7 o'clock now. If anyone wishes to see what's going on, they'll be here. Regarding the schools, Councilwoman Cara beat me to it on Scott Bray. I had once again applaud him for doing a great job as our high school football coach. Recently, he was named the New York Jets High School Coach of the Week. This is a program that the Jets have had of the tri-state area for the last 20 years, and in conjunction with Chase Bank. The school's football program will receive $2,000, and Scott Bray has been invited to watch the Jets play the Tennessee Titans on December 13th. This got the award based on after the Panthers defeated Watchung Hills 42-28. At that point, they improved to 6-0, which is the best start in school history. And they took their first division title in 22 years. So again, I applaud Scott Bray. I think he's possibly the best football coach the school has had. Also with the schools, as you may have noticed, read about, our superintendent has resigned, effective January 3rd. The board will begin a search next month, and they're planning on focusing only on New Jersey candidates. And the interview process will take place in December, and they're hoping to have a new superintendent in place the first week of January. And tomorrow night, the high school will be hosting its annual college fair at the high school gymnasium. It's between 7 and 9 p.m. And what else? Oh, the library. The Friends of the Library will be holding a book sale, two-day book sale, November 13th and 14th. That's a Friday and a Saturday inside the library, from 10 to 4 on Friday and 10 to 2 on Saturday. And that's all I have, Mayor.
I have nothing. Thank you.
Okay, there are a number of things. We have always been a tradition here in town to have someone who's made a significant contribution during the Second World War or in the service to serve as our Gaslone Parade Grand Marshal. And a gentleman that was the Grand Marshal a couple of years ago, Gabe Frangione, who distinguished himself during the invasion of D-Day invasion, passed away at the age of 92. So we send our condolences and our respect to his family for that. And Saturday night, as soon as we finish with the Halloween parade, remember you have to turn your clocks back because daylight saving time ends. I also have 3 letters. One from, and I'm sure that Scott's got this, so if you want another copy of it, you can have it. The first is from the United Methodist Church of Somerville. And this letter was directed to me, but I'm sure that any of you would like to go, you certainly can. They have organized, it's called the Somerville Community Association Luncheon. And it's in an effort to bring together community leaders, residents, organizations, churches, and clergy. The Somerville Community Association would like to invite you and interested members from the Somerville area to join us for our 3rd annual community luncheon at 12 noon on Saturday, November 7th, 2015 at the First United Methodist Church in Somerville. So if any of you are interested in going, this is open to all of you. Let me know, or I'll give you the letter and you can go. The luncheon is absolutely free, but they just need to know how many people are coming. The second letter, I understand, is something that you all got too, which from the prosecutor's office. On Tuesday, November the 10th at 7 p.m., and unfortunately it's the same time we have our council meetings. police use of force, a primer for community leaders at the Raritan Valley Community College. So we'll respond to Jack Bennett with that. And the third letter that I have is once again an anonymous letter that came into my office. Very curious, talking about bees and beekeepers. And citing something that the League of Municipalities has actually taken a stance on, and which is very curious because League of Municipalities information is not readily available to the public about the Department of Agriculture promulgating regulations concerning apiary activities and standards. We, at this point in time, do not have any kind of ordinance regulating bees or beekeepers or anything of that nature. I know a few years ago there was a problem and apparently has been resolved, but we do not have anything on the books for beekeepers, so I don't really understand why that came through. The Board of Chosen Freeholders and Rolling Thunder Incorporated are having a POW MIA Chair of Honor in remembrance of the sacrifices of our nation's military, November the 10th at 3 o'clock at the Somerset County Administration Building. So if anyone is interested in going, that's there. This is also, besides being National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it's also Domestic Violence Prevention Month. And I was honored last Thursday night to be the keynote speaker at the dinner of the Resource Center of Somerset. I'm talking about the impact of domestic violence. And finally, Sunday afternoon at the library, the children's room was formally dedicated as the Rose Pacifico Children's Room, and it was a wonderful turnout. The children's room was absolutely packed. We had former Board of Trustees members there. We had people from St. Anne's Altar and Rosary Society that Rose was active in, people from the community who knew her. There was a lovely poster board. Who did that, Bruce? You did it. It was excellent. Pictures of Rose when she was little and as she grew up, and it was quite a tribute to her. And everyone who spoke really was colleagues, people that she worked with at Bradley Garden School, people from the Altar Rosary Society. Some of Jim spoke on behalf of the Friends. It was really a wonderful, wonderful tribute to her, and I know that she would be very pleased, very annoyed that we did it, but very pleased nevertheless. So she was a lovely lady, and she deserves the recognition. All right, old business. You have something, Dan? That's new business?
Payment to
Okay.
the library.
Okay, yes.
presentation, maybe.
Before we go on, any old business?
Did we hear anything from PSCNG on that light?
No, except that they were,
Gonna look into what they didn't.
that they had to shoot
Yeah.
for.
Okay.
Under old business, what
Yes.
is going on with the speed,
Woodmere?
on Woodmere? Is that working yet?
Yeah.
Okay,
And the one on Thompson Street is working too.
okay.
Okay, new business, now you're.
I just, the,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it's under old because we talked about before the firehouse generator.
Yes,
We took bids on the 13th last week. This is the second time we bid it. We bid it once and it was over our budget. We bid again, it was even higher. But having bid twice, it gives us the opportunity to negotiate with the lowest bidder, which I did. I was able to remove $10,000 from the project. So the project, instead of $61,620, it's now $51,620. So Dan believes we're about $300 short, right?
something like that.
Yeah, so I would like to have a resolution at the next council meeting, which would be the 10th. And we'll work out some details in between, but if the council agrees with that, I'll give a verbal go-ahead to the contractor. We can
What was it? How much
figure out
was
where
it?
that.
51,620.
51,620.
and you did get the go-ahead for Sherman Avenue too,
Sherman Avenue was submitted.
right?
Oh, you have the
Yeah,
record of that? I need a
yeah.
copy of that, if you would, thank you.
Yeah, no, I just got the copy that they received our
Email.
paperwork. Also, under old business, you all were copied on this from Brian Credatus about the update on the fire. All right.
Mayor, I have a question for Stan. Fifth Avenue sidewalks that were done between Anderson and Second Avenue, there's one house that's 84 Second Avenue. There's all chewed up curb. Do you know that? It's all crumbled. I don't understand why that wasn't done. Do you
It
want to talk about
wasn't dollars to do the entire project under community development. Community development actually only was to sidewalk. We extended some under the capital budget that we have. Some of these missing curbs, it's not only there, like we do a couple of other places before we
that?
pave.
But this one is chewed up. I mean, it's just all crumbled.
Well, it's
I don't know.
money. Yeah, we had to go as far as we can. We don't have money to do every curb, every piece of curb there inside.
Okay. I mean,
There
it looks, the whole thing looks complete,
Yeah,
but
there-
it's just like
Yeah,
crumbled
there
curb.
wasn't enough money.
Okay.
There
So
is
there's
dollars
Just
available,
the flushes.
we put budget together for miscellaneous curb and
Right.
sidewalk and some street repairs. I'd like to do a project, this will be resurfacing Thompson Street next year under the water company, there's several areas of broken curb.
That's really
material
bad.
and curb.
It's
Yeah,
really
so
the
we'll put
curbing.
that up in the same.
Okay. I'll remind you.
They're doing an excellent job, by the way. It's a little bit of a pain, you know, having to move your car by 6 o'clock in the morning, but
It's slow work, there's a lot of unidentified utilities in that old road, we'll do the markup for the curb.
And of course, Friday morning, after all this digging and plowing and thumping and backhoeing and everything that's going on, I go down into my basement and it's flooded. And I'm thinking, oh my God, they hit a water line. And I went out and found the man who was from New Jersey American Water, had this big 10-gallon hat on. I don't know whether that was done on purpose or what, so that everybody could see him. But he came in and he looked at it, and he went all over the place, and he was very, very, very nice. So and it wasn't, it was something, another problem that we had, but it wasn't the water company that had broken up a main, which I was worried about. It's only a little scary. Okay, any more old business? All right, now you're on.
Just releasing a check before the next meeting for that Thomas Jefferson presentation.
He wants to be paid.
I think it's at 7 o'clock that night.
Right, well, November 5th, whatever, I'm not sure something. So it'll be on the bill list at the end of the month, but if you don't check.
The way it was left at the meeting was they were gonna try to talk to him, and if he could take it a couple of weeks after.
I know, a lot, we're back and forth with that.
Yeah, I know, but that's the way I
So-
left it with him, because, sometimes you don't get a check instantaneously.
What happened with the grant? And the bid for the ramp?
We will have that by this Friday,
Okay.
with the library.
Okay, very good. Any other new business? All right, we come to the second portion of public comment. Anyone wishing to be heard during this portion? Seeing no one, do I have a motion to close this meeting?
Second.
We are